and welcome to the Ori Mill. Today I'm going to talk to you about granny squares, as you can see. This, I didn't actually do this one. This is one of my customers who's lent me this one. Yeah, wee Maureen, as we call her. She's a bit of a whirlwind. She comes in and then she just whips up these things like really quickly. Yeah, she doesn't think she's very good at it, but I can tell you she definitely is. So yeah, granny squares. Yeah, you can see here, aren't they just fabulous? So yeah, I absolutely love this one here. This one here is done with the Croft, but I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. But granny squares has for a while now been quite in, and we have a lot of kind of books that will help you. So one of the books we have is Hip to be Square. This one is by Katie Jones. If you're in the UK, you might have seen her on television. At Kirsty's Homemade Christmas, I've seen her in. Here's a picture just as a wee reminder. That is her there, and she's actually done quite a lot for crochet to bring it back into fashion. So there's all sorts of kind of garments, as scarves and yeah, cardigans, jumpers, anything you can really make in granny square. Yeah, cushions, blankets. So granny squares are very versatile that way, that you can really just put them together to do anything. So for example, this one here, there's actually no shaping to it. You can see there is in the sleeve, there is 8 on each side. So yeah, 16 squares in each sleeve. And again, the same on the fronts. I believe there was 8, and I think it was 5 by 4 down on the back. So it is really just whatever number of granny squares, you just put it together, and I'll show you. I'll take this off in a minute and show you. We also have another one that's really interesting with granny squares. The granny square card deck. This one here, if you want to learn lots of different granny squares, there's 50 designs in here. So let me just kind of open this one. So they comes with a wee booklet. This one here is your kind of key to reading the cards. So it will tell you how to work the cards. But the first one here is your basic granny square. This one here is done in different colours. And then you have the basic granny squares as a single colour as well. They are slightly different in the way you do them. So it's quite good that they have a card for each. The next one I have here is actually not number 3, this is number 20. This is called Starburst Granny Square. And if you can see, that's actually the one Maureen has been using in her granny squares here. So some of them, she's actually just made a single colour in the middle, and then other ones she has changed the colour. So yeah, this is a Starburst number 20. But yeah, there's loads of really nice designs, and I think it's quite cute to have them in a wee box as a card deck. And actually there's a couple of patterns in here, or ideas to how to use them. So you can make a blanket, you can put them together as a cushion, again you can put them together as a scarf. So again, lots of good ideas. And lastly, we have another granny square book, again, Granny Square Fashion. And again here, there's bags. This one down here, which is your cardigan, kind of a long cardigan. I was about to say dress, but it's not a dress. Hat, headband. Yeah, it's just really amazing what you can do. And here is some half-coloured granny squares as well. So these, by the way, all of these books, plus the card deck, you can actually be a beginner. So all of these you can use as a beginner. And another thing I would like to kind of talk to you about, what kind of yarn should you use? Well, you can basically use any yarn. The ones or people here likes to use for granny squares are the Elements from WYS Structure Spinners. They don't come in massive amounts of colour, but they come in some really nice bright colours. And the tencel that's in this yarn gives it a bit of a sheen, so and it's really nice to crochet with. I've seen quite a lot of things crocheted up in it to great results. So tencel is they also call it lyocell here, but it's a wood pulp fibre that is then spun together with some Falkland Island wool. So it is 60% Tencel, 40% Falkland Island wool. So it's a very luxurious fibre, this one here. Yeah, I think the vegans are actually calling Tencel for vegan silk. So I can see why, and I don't really mind that because it's a plant-based fibre, so that's great. So another yarn that's really great for crochet granny squares in is Rowan Felted Tweed. It comes in tons of colours, and you have some bright ones, you have some muted ones, and because this one here is pre-felted, so it doesn't split as much as other yarns. It's a double knit. It's on the fine side of double knit, so just be mindful of that. I've seen some fabulous blankets in the felted tweed, crocheted blankets. So if you're into a bit of a tweedy effect, this one is definitely for you. And the one that Maureen has used here is an iron weight. She's used the Croft, which is a Shetland wool, and we were really kind of inspired by this kind of muted autumnal palette. So yeah, it also comes, the Croft also comes in a variegated flecky yarn, and that can look really good as well. Mixed, I like mixing them with like a solid colour. So the Croft also comes as a double knitting yarn, and a lot of people here have been using that for not knitting, for crocheting blankets. And actually you can go, if you start a granny square off, so if you did one of these basic ones that you saw here, just let me show you again. So either of these ones, really, you could start off with doing like a big square in just a solid colour and then change colour so it becomes big blocks of colour, or you could go like every single row is a different colour. Yeah, that looks really good in the Croft double knitting, but it would also look good in the iron weight. So yeah, that is, I'm going to show you here again. Just take this one off. Let me just remove my mic. So I also want to show you how Maureen has added pockets to this one. So if you can see it here. So she's added some pockets at an angle, and she's even added pockets inside. So it's actually reversible, this one. So if she likes, sometimes you might like to have the one where you can see some lines where she's joined the squares. Sometimes you might like to wear it without the lines. So she's made it, double-sided, which I think is fabulous. So you can see here again on the back, you can actually see that it's just a lot of granny squares put together. So Maureen, I believe, watched the video to show her how to do this one here on YouTube. I'm not entirely sure which one she did use, but there's quite a lot out there. The one she used actually had a ribbed band at the sleeves and also round here and down at the bottom. However, Maureen didn't want it to pull in, so she was in a number of times. We were discussing about how many squares she was going to use and how to do the edging. She didn't want a very thick edge, so we just decided to go for like trebles, UK trebles or US doubles. At the side, we started off with just doing a row of singles, or the ones we call in the UK double crochet. So yeah, that it's a little bit confusing with these two terminologies. So now she's got it to the perfect, the perfect size for her. So that's the advantage of doing all these crafty things, is that you can make it as you like and please. She's actually going to fold the sleeves up like this. I think she might be pinning them in a bit. It looks fabulous on her, by the way. And I'm so pleased that she lent me this this cardigan so I could do a video about it. But yeah, this is how she wants to wear it. But yeah, that was all for me now. So bye for now.